Evolution is measured in millions of years. Unfortunately, for coastal Louisiana, evolution, or rather devastation, is measured by the day.
We're sinking and it's scary. This whole beach is gone, yes. We can see what used to be solid marsh. I see 1, 2, 3, 4 islands is all that's left out here.
The problems are threefold. First, levees have disrupted the river's native bond with the wetlands. Saltwater intrusion, caused by dredging shipping canals, as well as those cut for oil and gas transport, compound the crisis. Natural subsidence is the third prong of the deadly trident that threatens coastal Louisiana. Fishing suffers. Livelihoods suffer.
This is the red, what you see there is what we've lost in 70 years. The red is gone. Basically all gone. 5 years later, that's what was left of that island. It's the same spot. There's a bay here, there was a bay here, there was a bay here, and what does that mean? If there's a separate bay, well, there's land between these bays, right? Not anymore. It's just all open water.
As oil and natural gas are piped inland from the Gulf of Mexico, they leave wounds, and left unattended, further serve to wash away coastal Louisiana. However, optimists believe that for every problem, there is a solution. This principle holds true for coastal Louisiana as well. And it has a name: Vanishing Paradise.
Hunters and anglers have been involved in conservation for 150 years. We brought wildlife back, we put the lid back on the prairie, and now we have the greatest conservation issue of our time. It's about building the delta. Look at this right here. We can actually do it, but we can only do it with one voice. All of us have to come together to get this done.
We're at the Wax Lake Delta. We're actually building habitat instead of destroying it. I'm a guide in South Louisiana, and that's very important to me. Over the years, this delta has been built up off of Wax Lake, and it's produced domes, sandbars, and everything at the base of this delta, which has produced a lot of grass, a lot of lilies, which is tremendous for my fishing down in this area. It holds redfish, it holds trout, it holds all of the bait that they need to survive. To a guide in South Louisiana, restoring the delta means sportsman's paradise.
The Wax Lake Outlet was a man-made channel dredged out in 1941. It was for flood control purpose to take some of the relief out of the main outlet of the Atchafalaya River and also the Mississippi River. You sort of had that base, the deposition of sediment there. In subsequent flooding events, as the years went by, we started to see these deltas getting a little bit larger. The Atchafalaya Bay started to get a little bit shallower, until we had these delta lobes that started popping up above the surface. The Wax Lake Delta is really the finest example of the techniques that we advocate for and that we believe are going to save coastal Louisiana. The Wax Lake Delta is an excellent example of sort of the embryonic stage and the early stages of delta building.
This dirt from Montana, North Dakota, and Missouri is the lifeblood for restoring coastal Louisiana.
The river is key to everything. If we don't open the river, all this will be for naught. But if we can open the river and build all these marshes, this will keep the salt water from inundating those marshes and killing the grasses that are growing.
What we need sportsmen all over the country to do, they realize that this is their problem as well. It doesn't just affect Louisiana sportsmen, it affects sportsmen from Michigan to Minnesota to Washington State to Maine and Ohio.
Really what we need to do is we need to get people all up and down the Mississippi Flyway, all over the country, to realize what a national treasure this is and come together. And so really where the hub of that is at vanishingparadise.org, which is a website where we're bringing folks from all across the country together.
This is why we call Louisiana Sportsman's Paradise. And by working together, we can make sure it doesn't become a vanishing paradise.
If we don't do something now, we've got a small window. It's really starting to get to this tipping point where if we lose too much of this marsh down there, we're not going to get it back.